There we go. Thank you. Let's try that again. Merry Christmas, lads, lasses, and non-binary folk. Thank you for telling me. It usually takes a while sometimes. What an intro. Oh, you know, only the best. I realize I don't have the chat up, and also have the wrong picture up. Let me change that. Why does this not have... Maybe I should put you on the Christmas tree. Why is there not a chat window in this one? You're probably there, but... Yes. I'm very confused where the chat window's gone. But yes, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve, Eve. Welcome to the penultimate to the penultimate, I suppose. Yeah, celebrating Christmas tomorrow, so it's just Christmas Eve to you. I wish I was celebrating Christmas tomorrow, but unfortunately I've got a job in the retail sector, which means I exist only to make everyone else's Christmas shopping easier. How disappointing. So my whole audio setup just fell off the desk. The day after I'm going to celebrate with them. Oh! I see, that's fair enough. The family members that can make it are going to be doing a little celebration on Christmas Day. It's a while since I've had a Christmas Day on a Sunday. It's always fun when it's on a Sunday. When I was younger, I liked it being on a Sunday, actually, because it meant I didn't have to go to church twice in the week. Because, of course, when you go to a church, you know, Christmas, you go to a church ceremony, and then on, you know, on Sunday, you also have a church day. So when it was on Saturday, it was awful. 2 in a row? Oh. Going to church? Little Eric couldn't handle it. Sitting still for that long. An absolute travesty. But it's nice. I feel... There's been a few times I've celebrated at random times. My niece went off to celebrate with her husband's family. Early. They did it early. Like, last week, I think. A whole week early. I'm trying to get the... For some reason I always misspell Christmas. Yes. Good thing I got kicked out of church. I suppose, yes. As long as it doesn't turn out the Christians were right. Couldn't pick a game? Certainly couldn't. I'm so terrible with that sort of thing. I was busy this week. Granted, I was... There you go, I changed... You can't really see him. He's blending into the white with little seal... The seal of approvals here, too. This is good tea. If I was smart, I'd have organized this whole kit and caboodle and we'd be doing a whole thing, you know? You know, we'd be doing like, oh, making presents and all this stuff, but, I've never been that organized. If I was Santa Claus, I'd make a list and maybe check it once. So, if anyone was naughty or nice, they're probably okay, honestly. I'll probably just go, nah, they're alright. I'll put them in the mediocre list. Where they get really ordinary Christmas miracles. Like, having 1 extra chocolate in the packet. That sort of thing. They won't be getting any ponies for Christmas, though, because I'm too lazy to differentiate between the very good and the very bad. Not twice, there's no time for that. Too busy. That is a good question. I feel like you've told this story before for some reason. I feel like you've made a comment or a joke before about how you got kicked out of church. Do we have a conversation about Australian Christmas before? I don't know, but give me a moment to tell you about today's tea. Is the final tea from the Nuremberg Knights tea chest. It is Christmas tea. It is black tea, almond, orange peel, cornflour, cinnamon, clove, and apple. And it is wonderfully delicate. Mmm. Delicious. Your grandpa being half resurrected. You wanted to fully alive? Gonna be nice a kid next year. You better be right. Oh yes, I did just see that. Cornflower or cornflower? Corn rose. It is of a blooming type. Not of a, well, not of a, I don't know, cooking type, I suppose. I was trying to think of not of a rising type. But I don't think cornflower rises. But yes, cornflower, it's a, I don't know if you can see it. If you look closely at the picture, there's little flecks of blue. That is the cornflower. So yes, it's got a double U, not a single U. Whatever it is, Mr. Claus. Ho, ho, ho. I'd say Merry Christmas, but, you know, good enough Christmas. How are you, Lord Theo? Yes, how is everyone, by the way? How are we, what's our plans for the next few days? I know what Andy's is. Tomorrow they're celebrating Christmas. What are you celebrating? Are you getting your presents tomorrow, Andy? Or are you getting your presents on Sunday, eh? Is your sister getting their presents tomorrow? You're naughty himself, so I got out before anything happened. Eric, I'm getting them tomorrow. I plan to work. Fair enough. I, luckily, get a day off on Sunday. Most places aren't open on Sunday in Australia. Miss Winters and Santa Claus have more in common than you think. Yes. I've got a beard, and grey hair, and a generally mysterious nature that is associated with the season of snow. So, you know, we're pretty much the same. Get Saturday and Sunday off. Very nice. I do not get Saturday off. Well, if I wasn't wearing this three-piece suit, I'd definitely resemble Santa a bit more. The vest is really slimming, you see. Like a male corset. I get to blast Christmas Eurobeat while playing GTA San Andreas on my PS2. What a time to be alive. You know, 30 years ago, the PS2. Was it 20 years ago now? Yeah, it was 22 years ago. Living that Christmas you lived all those years ago, desperately trying to cling on to that nostalgia you so woefully miss. That was depressing. We eat dinner with my mother. Yeah, that's fun. I'm gonna eat dinner with, how many of my family? A few of the nieces and nephews can't make it. One nephew's visiting me right now. He's, in fact, in another room in this very house. Living his best life. But, yes, I'll have the niece that lives nearby, the nephew, one of my nephews, me, of course, and a few of the brothers and sisters. So, this is living a dream. This isn't a show, is it? Oh, okay. You're living in a dream? Oh, okay, fair enough. So it's like your form of the Matrix. You say like he's the murderer on the phone. Perhaps he is. Standing right behind you all right now. In this very house. That's an interesting story, that. It's funny it's a funny trope, isn't it? Did the Scream movie start that trope? Or was that a trope already? I don't know. I don't watch much horror. That's an interesting question. The whole, he's in the house right now. Do the nephew know what you're doing? Yes, well, he's the one who made the background music for all of my streams. So I'd bloody well hope he does. There's also a sign I have in my office that says, streaming, just in case, sometimes family members would come or dinner we were having that night, or lunch we were having while I was still streaming. So I'd have the little sign up saying that I was streaming. That's why you haven't had any people walk in on me. It also helps that I'm right next to the front door in this office, so I can see anyone coming. Which is why I knew that one person who was supposed to deliver my alcohol that one time didn't even try. Because I was bloody watching the front door. Didn't turn up. I'm still upset about that. Yes. Christmas is a fascinating thing. This year I'm on drinks. Because I'm the only one who knows anything about drinks. Well, I don't know. My family, the members of my family who do drink, really love the fact I've gotten into making cocktails. They're absolutely loving it. They keep on like, oh, come over whenever you want. Please, come over. Visit. So, at Christmas, I'll be the bartender of the day. I'm making a punch. An alcoholic punch bowl. For those who do drink. It'll be a bit festive, but more refreshing. Of course, in Australia, we don't have the fortune of having cold weather during Christmas, so recipes such as mulled wine and spiced rum, and, well, you can still do spiced rum, but, you know, those sort of spiced... Bring your bottles of booze with you, yes. Those spiced alcohols, oh... It's really tragic, because I love the idea of those recipes, but it just never gets really cold enough in Australia. It probably would have been cold enough this year, but... It's one of those things. Because it's hot in winter, yes, we can still drink. I guess if we went inside and turned the air conditioning on, we could emulate what it would be like to be in a white Christmas. But it's a blue Christmas through and through in Australia. Or in this case, a grey and miserable rainy Christmas, a monsoon Christmas, according to the weather report this year. They're saying it's going to be storming for the next week, starting tomorrow and going until past New Year's. It'll be raining constantly and storming, according to the weather report. So. Wonderful. Beautiful. Not even a blue Christmas. A monsoon Christmas. Area of the whole of the United States. Oof. Certainly get a white Christmas then. But yes, the point is, mulled wines and spiced gins and spiced rums and all those sort of kind of more spicy... No, you can't see me yet. But I'm here. That was bizarre. Everything just crashed. My whole graphics card crashed, I think. The screens went black. I thought the power turned off. I thought me trash-talking the Australian weather, that lightning had struck me and I had been smitten down. Look in memes. In hashtag memes. Let me put you in front of this tree, though. Let me look, just get this so you can actually see you guys chatting. There we are. Now, Discord is still not responding, so I'm going to have to figure that one out. I'm invisible, by the way. I'm like Santa Claus. You can't see me. You have to give me milk and cookies. Otherwise, I will not return. I have absolutely no idea what happened there. Wow. Bribing chat, yeah. Give me them milk and cookies, mate. We're just going to I'll get the Christmas hat back later. And bribing chat, I'm soliciting bribes. I'm not bribing you. I'm blackmailing you. Because I'm asking you to give me something. Now Discord. Thank you. There you go. See what's going on. This is why you all should believe in Santa Claus, kids. I keep dying because you're not believing hard enough. I had to restart the whole computer that time. Absolutely no idea. Let me finally look at that damn meme. We believe! Yeah, you better believe harder. I just realized half of the decorations have changed since the crash too. Why? Why have half the oh, that's bizarre. And also it's the wrong picture again. It hasn't got the right picture. This is bizarre, the things it decides that... I have absolutely no idea what caused that. Let me become back visible again. This just sometimes happens with computers. Do you believe in life after love? Do you? I'm looking very serious. There we are. Come on. There we go. I yet live again. And yes, to answer your question, Andy, that is an average evening drive. You really do have to watch out for kangaroos. I'm not kidding. Kangaroos on the road at night, they can really stuff up a car. They'll put it out of commission faster than you can blink. I wonder if it was the Christmas hat that crashed everything. Maybe no Santa Claus hat. I don't know. I know... the NVIDIA control panel was having a problem. The NVIDIA drivers were having trouble. At least you make raw burgers if you had one. Probably. I think it died... it probably died very stressed. I can't imagine it would taste very nice. That's maybe what's causing it. Christmas is a glitch in the Matrix. Yes. Bizarre. Also, my house hasn't been working this whole time, so... I'm very terrified now. I'm frightened. I'm worried. What if I lose it again? What if it crashes? What can I do? Bloody pain. Ah, terrifying. Hmm. 100% of the CPU is being used. Maybe that's part of it. I completely lost where I was, to be honest. What were we doing? I think it's about to die. I do too, every time I... Okay, it's calmed its farm, it seems. Let's hope it's fine. You're about to watch a video. It was the... I saw the room. It's the room smashing into the thing. I wonder... Sorry. Sorry, I'm just getting confused by the music. Now, what was I doing? Yeah. But yeah, Smash me like... Start screeching in an Elden Ring choir. Speaking of Elden Ring, that's something we can talk about. Last night, me and my nephew went out to a cocktail bar in the city. and it was a great night. The cocktails were wonderful. They were expensive, but they are fair. At least these cocktails tasted like something I would never have been able to make on my own, so I'm okay with that. Is it Old Lang Syne a New Year's song? I suppose it is. Though I feel like I've played it before for Christmas carols, so I suppose it's just one of those things where they stick them together. But yes, we went to a cocktail bar. And I'd been to it before with my niece. Two of my nieces. It's a sort of beautiful, you know, not Art Deco, but like 1920s bar. Covered in whiskey. Hundreds of bottles of it. Hundreds of bottles of the stuff. And they make beautiful cocktails, and they're all very interesting. Truly, a Morbius. Oh dear. A miracle of Morbius. Oh dear. Have you taken a Choo-Choo Charles? If you mean by take a look, know what it's about? I haven't looked at the finished game, but I did watch the developer make the game. So I've watched all the developer diaries for Choo-Choo Charles as they came out over the last year. Didn't really talk about it, but they were fascinating. But yes, back to the bar. When we got there, they showed me a menu, and I realized none of the items, none of the cocktails were the same as I remembered before. They had changed the whole menu, revamped the whole menu. It was a new menu. And as I read through it, me and my nephew started recognizing things. I was like, oh, that's an interesting name. Okay, those two together seems like a coincidence. Turns out, whoever their mixologist was, or whoever made their menu, clearly went on a bit of a From Software game bender. Because all of the cocktails were named after Dark Souls concepts, and Bloodborne concepts, and Elden Ring concepts. It was hilarious. We had a great laugh about it. So I was shocking enough. It was something I wanted to do at some point. But this cocktail bar was the Souls cocktail bar, the From Software cocktail bar at this point. Very fascinating stuff. I had a cocktail called the Flame of Frenzy, which was if anyone's heard of the Blue Blazer, what if we could look up a picture, video of the Blue Blazer. Blue Blazer. So it's a very interesting one. Let's just get somebody making... Yes, the Blue Blazer. Made by a very famous picture, I believe. There's a very famous picture of... Who was it? Jerry Thomas, I believe? He's a bartender from a long time ago. And there's this famous picture of him, like, sort of etching of the, sort of the father of bartending, I think. Sort of modern bartending. It's a very fascinating story behind the Blue Blazer. And, you know, he's known for being very, over the top with his drinks. And his signature was the Blue Blazer. Let's grab this picture and throw it on the screen. You're all gonna learn some history. This is the famous picture of Jerry Thomas and the Blue Blazer. But the Flame of Frenzy, an Elden Ring reference, is a type of Blue Blazer cocktail. I need to find a picture of it. Let's go on YouTube. We don't need a picture of it. Blue Blazer. I'm sorry, I'm getting very distracted by this Blue Blazer. Oh, there's apparently a wrestler called the Blue Blazer. Oh, there you go. He's making a flaming mo. You know, that'll do. This one will do. Making a flaming mo. But yes, it was a It's a very famous cocktail just for the fact of the person who made it. He's sort of the father of mixology and, you know, bartending showmanship. So it's got a lot of history. Oh, there's my camera card. Oh well. I'll fix that once I get this bloody window up. How do I again? Window capture. There it is. Let's just capture this window for a moment. This is not quite how they did the Blue Blazer. There's not going to be any sound because it's just loud bar noises. This fellow lights it on fire, as you can see. I'll describe what happened last time. Make it a little fun. Yes. Ooh, very fast. And that's the whole thing. You have these two pots or tankards. It's quite dangerous because this can be quite hot. Alcohol doesn't burn as hot as many others though, so you're not too bad. But when I ordered this Flame of Frenzy, the fellow did this at the bar. That's the whole famous... Mine was a bit more red than theirs, but it's essentially the same idea. They do this thing. And the idea is to keep going until it either stops flaming, and then I believe you pour it into the drink and put the tankard over the top of it. But yes, this is the sort of drink I had last night. And then they pour it. He's made a double-sized one for 2 people. One's slightly smaller than the other. But you get the point. Look at it, very easy to set yourself on fire. Yes, that's the joke, isn't it? That's the point of it, isn't it? It's, what happened to my camera? Oh, my phone closed for some reason. But yes, it does look very easy to set yourself on fire. Fascinatingly enough, at the bar we were at, they had 2 little pourable... They were not tankards, you see? Like, tankards are a bit more difficult to pour out of into another container. But these guys at this bar had 2, like... They had long handles on them. I cannot remember the name for them, but they were little pots. They had 1 single long wooden handle. And they'd have 2 of them. They'd put the stuff inside, and instead they'd get a blowtorch underneath. And I think this is the more modern way of doing it, instead of just lighting the alcohol on fire. They got a blowtorch of some sort and heated up the pot until the alcohol ignited inside the pot. So they would heat it up and go thump, and come alive, and then they'd get the 2 pots that actually had pouring stouts, so you could actually pour them easily to do the whole woo thing. It was very fun. A very fun cocktail, and it was actually a really good cocktail. For one called the Flame of Frenzy, it was a lot nicer than that name would lead you to believe. But yes, I believe I had the Gale from Dark Souls 3, the Slave Knight Gale, the Flame of Frenzy. My nephew had Ludwig from Bloodborne, the Bloodborne reference, and the Puppeteer. Are they smoky tasting? No, actually, they're just warm. The fire doesn't add a smoky taste, because of course it doesn't. Smoky taste comes from the burning of things. This one did. I believe the Flame of Frenzy has sencha in it, a green tea, so there is a sort of burned smell to it. But shockingly enough, most of the smoky taste that we normally associate with fire comes from the burning of things like wood or peat or grain. No, peat is grain, I'm starting to realize. But yes, it comes from that. Not actually... not actually, alcohol doesn't tend to get that burnt, sort of, that nice, smoky, burned sort of smell. So it was actually quite a delicate smell, just smelt warm and spicy. It was definitely more of a winter cocktail, but, you know, it was fun anyway. If you want to get a smoky taste in alcohol, you need to smoke it. Actually smoke it. And there's a lot of ways to do it. Some people have little smoking boxes, and you just essentially burn a heap of wood chips and sort of infuse the drink with smoke by putting it in a sealed container surrounded by smoke. That's how you'd get a smoky yogurt, other than using an Isla Scotch. I got a good conversation with the bartender about the cocktails I made, and he actually made a few of the ones I made. Like, sort of a few of the classics I've made, so I could see if I did a good job making them. So I had a penicillin and a coffee and cigarettes. Their coffee and cigarettes was certainly a lot better than mine. But my penicillin that I made at home, oof, I was so close. But goodness, their collection of whiskey was something impressive, though. They had hundreds of bottles on this fairly precarious-looking shelf behind the bar, and they'd all be climbing up this ladder to get them. It was fascinating stuff, seeing just how big of a collection that bar had. It was absolutely insane. And they also had it was a beautiful atmosphere of the place. Very busy for a Wednesday night. But it's one of those lovely things. It was an experience. Though they did stuff up the bill. And that's going to be a problem I have to deal with. They double charged me, the cheeky bastards. Though I know why they double charged me. Because I had checked, there was one bartender doing most of my drinks for the first half of it, and one bar doing most of the half for the second. And the problem is we changed halfway through while we were getting a drink. And I think one of the bartenders was like, oh, could you make this drink for me? And they're like, yeah, sure. And the other new bartender came over to us. It was just, they had enough bartenders that we pretty much had a bartender in front of us the whole time. Luckily, we were also put in front of one of the making stations at the bar. The kind of mixing stations at the bar. So we could sit there and chat to the bartender while he was making other people's drinks. But we had that one bartender the whole time. Essentially. It was like, we're Valhalla! It was like Valhalla, except they were the Valhalla characters. They were Gillian from the Valhalla game. And I was me and my nephew were the bizarre patrons that came through. But what happened with the double charging is that those two drinks, it was only those two drinks, I got the rest of them fine. They accidentally double charged those two drinks because one person asked the other bartender to make them and probably went off and put them on the tab. Or on the system to say that I had bought them. But then the other bartender made them and then put them on the tab. So, a bit of an accident. So, I'll fix that. I've given them a bit of a message, so hopefully they'll reply to it. But yes, we went to the steakhouse. That's the largest private wine collection in the world. Didn't have any, though. Interesting. I don't think this is the largest whiskey in the world, but they do have some amazing... You look at the whiskey menu. Oh, it's spectacular. It's tiny little text, and it's 15 pages long, and the text is about 5 point. You know, like... Times New Roman 5 point. It's absolutely tiny text, and it's still 15 pages long. And then you look at all of it, there's some 30 mils in that that whiskey list. There's 30 mils for a Talisker 44-year whiskey. Talisker is one of the Isla Scotches, very expensive. But yes, Talisker 44-year. I'd like everyone here to guess what 30 mils, a single shot of this Talisker 44-year would cost. Just give it a go. $500 dues? Okay, you're going $500 dues? Anyone else? Got an idea, a guess? I'm gonna freeze for a moment, because I think I still have the menu. On my phone. Very curious. Because if you don't... Any other messages? How expensive would this be? You've got $500 dues. Going once, going twice. There we are. Well, let's just reveal the ridiculousness. Let me get my camera back working. Hello? Yes, yes, I want to connect to a computer. Because, turns out... The, oh, that's crashed. My brain suddenly shut off, sorry. The price for a single shot of Talisker 44-year whiskey was $1,300 dues. So, let's see what that is. 1,300 AUD to USD. That is 872 United States Freedom Bucks. Holy crap. That's not even the most expensive one. The most expensive one is Macallan, the Archival Series Folio 6, which I believed was 1,500 Australian dollar dues for a single shot, which is about 1,000 US dollars. Make a cocktail out of one of those, eh? Make yourself a coffee and cigarettes that'll cost you $3,000. Holy crap indeed. Oh, it's hilarious. Well, remember, Talisker is already a premium brand, and Talisker old Talisker is exceedingly rare. 44 years old particularly. To the point did they have expensive Japanese drinks that you like? Well, they did have a lot of Japanese whiskey. And I was tempted to ask for some, but I thought, I'm going to be in Japan next year. Why is it not tracking me? What happened? That's weird. There we are. They did have a lot of Japanese whiskey. In a fair, there was a... It's actually, shockingly enough, compared to most of the Scotch and the Isla Scotches and the Macallans and all that stuff, it was a positively affordable per shot. They were positively affordable. I think the only one that got the most expensive, that one, the Japanese got, was $300 or something like that, which sounds hilarious, but if you've seen some of the other prices on this menu, $600, $700, $800, $900, $100, $1,500. Absolutely ridiculous. Though, that's the thing about old whiskey. Whiskey gets drunk a lot, especially from good companies. So old whiskey is just so incredibly rare that getting some of these bottles, the 44-year-old Talisker, would probably take out a mortgage on a house with that thing. Because it's called Forests of the Deep. It's very famous. You could probably get a bottle for a couple of grand. Probably isn't that it's probably far cheaper to buy the bottle, to be honest. Really cool box, actually. The Talisker box. But I believe it's something like $6,000 or $7,000 for a bottle. So I wouldn't buy a shot, I'd just buy the bottle. But yes, they had a lot. They had all your Yamazakis, your sort of your Nicker by the barrel, which I saw quite often people just drinking straight. It was the most common to come down from the shelf was Nicker by the barrel. Not an expensive whiskey. From the barrel, not by the barrel. Nicker from the barrel. It's not the most expensive, but it's expensive for its size. It's only 500 mils and it's something like $100, but it seems very popular. I'm here, far across these new frontiers. Oh, are you? We're talking about whiskey. But yes, I thought... I'll be in Japan, won't I? So... Do you have to drink it all at once when you open a bottle? No. No, you don't. I'd hope not, at least. That sounds like it would do a number of your liver. Whiskey, fortunately enough, I don't think really changes flavor all that much when you unseal it. I don't know, I'm not perfect with that sort of thing. But usually it's one of those things you can keep for a very long time. So it's one good thing about it. Yes, we're talking about a bar we went to that has an impressive collection of whiskey. Stole my parents' stuff when they go camping. Oh dear. Oh. Years ago, we have this family friend, and he's an infuriating drunk. Is it wine you have to drink after opening? Yes, it is wine. You can keep it for longer if you put it in the fridge. But yes, wine needs to be drunk quickly. Or it needs to be a cask wine in like a vacuum-sealed bag, a goon bag. If it's goon, it should last a while. Like, you know, then you use it for cooking usually. But yes, it's wine that requires to be drunk. I'm sure there are other things that require that sort of thing. I don't think many liqueurs do. They have a lot of sugar in them, liqueurs, normally, so that's usually fine, but I can't think of any. It's mostly the wines, isn't it? Just not strong enough, I suppose. They go a bit sour. But yes, speaking of stealing some parents' stuff, we have this, yes, family friends, and they drink a lot more than we do, and they're one of the, family friends that come visit us when, they've been close with us for years. And they come visit us, when we all go for the the family holidays up north. They are there as well. They're part of the family. But one of them, they're both doctors, and they have children. They're younger, and they're part of like the nephews group. They're doctors, but they really relax when they go on holidays, and I rarely ever see them when they're working, of course, so I only see them when they're relaxing, drinking, wine and all this sort of thing. And and the husband is an awful drunk. He's an awful drunk. He's just very annoying, very holier than thou when he gets drunk. And, it's about this, and he's very funny to start poking him and start setting him off while he's drunk. But, he can get frustrating if you're trying to play cards with the bastard, and he's, no, that's not how you do it. You need to do it this way. He has very specific rules, and I am never playing 500 or hearts or poker with them ever again. After one time where I was stuck with them for hours as they got all angry about the fact I wasn't playing the way they wanted me to. I'm getting about beside the point. He drinks gin and tonic and wine and that sort of thing. He had this gin and tonic. And I can't remember if he finished the gin and tonic or all of this thing, and he was going on about this gin and tonic. So the nieces and nephews all decided to play a little prank on him. So I can't remember if they moved it. I think they may have moved his gin from the bottle to another glass container. They poured the gin out into another empty glass container and just filled the gin with water. And didn't tell him. His wife, the other friend, she knew that it had happened, but he didn't. So he would make himself a gin and tonic, and he'd drink it, and he's like, ooh, nice. It's nice gin. It's a nice gin and tonic. Ooh, lovely. Because everyone was complaining I think it was some argument about how much tonic he puts in the drink, and how he couldn't even taste the drink through his tonic, and all this. So, there was a big argument about it. They had a whole argument about it, so this is how his children and the nephews solved these arguments. So they emptied it out, and filled it with water, and then he was having his gin and tonic. Ooh, wow. And then he kept drinking them. He's like, wow, he was really chuffed with himself. He's like, oh dear. I'm handling my alcohol well this time. Look at me. Yeah. I've had 3 gin and tonics. I'm not even feeling it. Ha! Look at me. I'm a champion. He was real chuffed with himself. His wife, however, had been sneaking to the cupboard where the actual gin was and making herself a proper gin and tonic. And he didn't realize the whole week until the bottle was empty. He'd never realized that he didn't have gin in his gin and tonic. It was very difficult not to just die of laughter every time I saw him with his little gin and tonic and his little zest of lemon. Because I knew, of course. And it's not the first time his kids have done that to him. He kept complaining about how, oh, the maple syrup they have in Australia, it's synthetic. It's awful. It's synthetic maple syrup. It's terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. I have my Canadian maple syrup. Perfect. Beautiful. Truly superior. And so, of course, with that sort of arrogant, holier-than-thou tone, his kids moved the good maple syrup to a bad maple syrup container, and the bad maple syrup to the good maple syrup container. And, yet again, he didn't notice. Not once did he notice that his maple syrup had been changed for inferior maple syrup, and he still kept going, ooh, this is the stuff. Ooh, this maple syrup, mate. Ah, yeah, this is the stuff, mate. Why is tonic water still a thing? I don't know, because people want water that can glow in the dark when you put it on a blacklight. Fake maple syrup tastes nothing like real maple syrup. I've been lied to my whole life. I know, but it's funny that when you expect something to be there, it really is easy to trick yourself, isn't it? But yes, I'm sure fake maple syrup, if you had them side by side, even if you had a blind taste test, you could probably tell the difference. But I don't think he could, because he wasn't having them next to each other. His brain was just filling in the gaps. It'd have to be really awful not to notice. But it was very funny. The gin one is definitely the funnier, because he was so chuffed with himself how well he was holding his alcohol. But tonic water? Yes, it's made with Keening, isn't it? Tastes like corn syrup, to be honest. You cannot tell the difference. I swear orange and soda's the same. They probably are. I believe it's Keening. So, that's what tonic sort of thing, is it? And it glows in water, if I remember correctly. Glows in black light, if I remember correctly. So, there you go. I'm not a fan of tonic water, to be honest. There are a few gins that work well with tonic water, but I am of the opinion that tonic water is just too strong, you know? Its flavor gets rid of the taste of gin most of the time, and if you have any kind of delicate gin or gins that use delicate flavors, the bloody tonic water will just blast it. You practically have to do one shot of tonic water to one shot of tonic to be able to get the shot of gin to one shot of tonic water to be able to get the right balance. It's just very, very strong in flavor a lot of the time. Even the more fancy tonics like Vtuber and stuff like that. Cannot tell the difference. You don't realize water has taste before you taste it with the different brands. Yes, that's true. Vtuber is the best tasting water, but it's really expensive. Is that so? I once got Fiji water as a souvenir from when my nieces and nephews went to Fiji. They were like, here, souvenir from Fiji. This tiny little thing I got from a souvenir shop and Fiji water. And I was like, wonderful. Amazing. Thanks, guys. Love it. Really appreciate it. I haven't had Fiji water in forever. Ooh. Tomorrow's Christmas with the family and relatives, by the way, where we get to open gifts. Wow, you and Andy both. Everyone's having Christmas tomorrow. I'm getting up at 3 AM to work for 9 hours. Granted, it's not 12 hours, so I'm still doing better than Tiberian, but... oh, it's gonna be a nightmare. Christmas bloody Eve. It's always the worst one at retail, I find. Everyone thinks, everyone's going to be doing their last-minute shopping on Christmas Eve, so I'll be clever and do it on Christmas Eve. But unfortunately not. I don't get to open my gifts till the 24th. Oh, that's a shame. I've got a few gifts. I know what they are. That's the thing. Because our family, there's so many in our family that we don't need to buy each individual person gifts. We just, put a randomizer and everyone puts everyone named to like a bucket, and we all get given each other's names. And so we buy one gift for each other, or multiple gifts within a certain budget. And one of my nieces had me, and I had the nephew that's visiting me. I bought the present for him. So, and he's really into board games, so I bought a board game. I hope it's good. But yeah, so my niece had me, and she asked what I wanted, and some of my old... I'm finding a lot of my old... well, I have a lot of good pairs of formal shoes. Unfortunately, I never invest in a good pair of... Like, I have a good pair of boots, brown boots, and a good pair of black shoes, black formal dress shoes, and brown dress shoes, but unfortunately... Unfortunately, I, don't have any slip-on shoes, actually. I never really went for them, because I bought one pair and never needed another. But I'm starting to realize, for what I want to do over in Japan next year, those boots that take quite a while to get on and off, they're not easy to get on and off, you need a shoehorn and everything like that. Because they're quite tight-fitting. They're quite difficult to get on and off, and if I'm going to Japan next year and staying there for a while, those sort of shoes won't work, so I asked for a pair of slip-on formal shoes instead, for, you know, to wear with suits. I did have a lovely time looking at shoes, though. God, some of the shoes these days look absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I'll probably pick up another pair of them. What kind of board games? Do you do Euro games? You'd have to ask him. He plays a lot more board games than I do. I'll admit I'm just a sort of Monopoly, skip-bow, poker sort of fella. Oh, I see. Euro game? So German style game. Yes. He does play a number of Euro game ones. The Euro game ones, things like, I assume like Carcassonne and stuff like that. I've played that one with him before. Carcassonne, I think, is one that I think I saw there. But yes, he does play. He plays a lot of different games, but yes, he has played Euro games before. I just when I wore them to jury duty. How embarrassing. True, that is. Of my gifts, I'll probably never, since I don't think I'll get something for Christmas. Oh dear. That's why if you have the money, J-Hug, it's always a good idea to go buy yourself a Christmas present. I do, every year, buy myself a Christmas present. Because it's just nice for yourself. You know, give a gift to yourself if you can. Something that you don't really need, but you want. I don't know, more PlayStation 2 games. I think it's a nice thing to sort of... I feel like it's still nice to observe those sort of things. Like, I've had some very lonely Christmases, and very lonely New Years, but... grown up to receive gifts. Well, that's the thing. I don't think you ever grow out of wanting something nice. Granted, yes, you can buy something nice every other day. But, you know, if you feel... this is just saying, you may not feel sad about that. It may be fine for you. But if you do feel a bit sad, just buy yourself a Christmas present. I find observing that sort of stuff when I was, you know, away from family and stuff like that was just nice. And receiving gifts, I feel like receiving gifts is... You're never too old to receive a gift, in my personal opinion. Listen to that beautiful music. Yes. What was I doing? Trying to think about it. Yes. There's some good shoes these days. What are you gonna get some good shoes? Still in the 20s and I'm still enjoying receiving and giving. I feel like we're just piling onto J-Hang today. You miserable old grouch. You bloody... I feel like if we're getting closer, we're gonna start going... Bah humbug, eh? Bah humbug. Makes me realise I haven't watched like the Muppets Christmas Carol in years. I really should watch it, shouldn't I? It's been a long time. Have some chocolates next to it. If you hear the sound of shaking. I don't know if it's picking up, but... Caramello. Delicious. I shouldn't have spent all my money. Yes! That is the way of things, isn't it? You can... It's also good if you need to save. To have sort of times of year where you spend the money. Like, I spend only in the essentials for all the times except for Christmas and Easter or something. I'm not too sure. It's a saving strategy if you're finding trouble saving. Because you keep buying things you want. Kind of teach yourself to have sort of a... And it kind of adds a sort of gravitas to it. Oh, that's a Christmas present. I can't touch that yet. I found it always helped me with saving. Sort of making times of the year. These days, I'm not as strict as I was back when I was younger, but then again, I have more freedom now than I was when I had less money. And anyway, I'm still working, so it's not like I don't have money coming in. Sorry, I'm just eating a caramello chocolate. Delicious. Cadbury. I wonder how far this music is through. Because I believe it's like an hour long, this music. Or something like 2 hours long. Oh, yes. What's everyone's history with carols? I don't know how carols are. And, you know, we don't have those sort of carolers as you always see in, as a joke in, like, Christmas comedies. Christmas romantic comedies. Still remember the 90s Caramello commercials? Do you? I don't remember many of the commercials for this sort of stuff, but I like eating them. Granted, they were very cheap, so. But yes, Australia, I don't think you don't really see the sort of carolers other than TV. Yes, I always see them on American TV, and you always wonder about that sort of thing. Do those carolers even exist? Is it the same thing as like Christmas, like trick-or-treating, I suppose? That it just exists in America for some reason? And rarely anywhere else. Like, we have Christmas carolers. So, like, in supermarkets for most of December, you'll usually have people playing carols or singing carols and all that sort of thing. In my country, don't do that sort of stuff. Well, in Australia, we have a lot of, I was used to be, in, a lot of bands and, brass bands, stuff like that. And I used to play a lot of carols when I was younger. A young man. Playing Christmas carols, and when I was younger, it was because I was forced to by my parents, being in the Salvation Army, and that's what you did at Christmas. You spent a month and a half going to every single location and playing Christmas carols. At every Christmas carol you could get to. There's carols by candlelight and Yapinda. Sure. Is there carols by candlelight, carols in the park, in that's the Tarawong? Sure. Is there carols in the bush in Geelong? Sure. You go. I was doing a lot of Christmas carols. I feel like I came to hate Christmas carols because of it. But they're usually at supermarkets in Australia. Sort of a band or a group, a dance troupe, or like a choir group will be like set up somewhere in the supermarket. Singing and dancing, or what are they doing? There was like a dance slash, I guess they're like pop. What's the best way to describe it? Oh, blast. Bloody hell. Drop my chocolate. Sorry. I go every location and play hardcore dubstep and dance in front of the security cameras. Oh, okay. Never been collected or visited by them? And my Christmas gift, I wish for my country to lose the World Cup, but ended up winning. Luckily, disaster still happened in the celebration yesterday. People gave me a spectacle. Oh, yes. God, that was crazy, wasn't it? Old Argentina. We have Salvation Army kettles outside of store entrances. Yes, I've heard a lot of bad things about those sort of Salvation Army kettles in America. Did they hire people for like less than minimum wage or something like that? To sit out in the cold collecting money? I was under the impression that most people... It was always volunteer in the Salvation Army when I worked with the Salvation Army. Every bit of work I did for them was completely voluntary. Except when I was a kid, when it wasn't voluntary. But... because my parents made me do it. But when I was older, it was more voluntary stuff. Fascinating, though. Yes, we have carolers. Yes, today, a couple of days ago, at one of the supermarkets nearby, there was a group of, like, young lasses doing some sort of, like, pop choir thing. You want to see an accurate representation of Planet of the Apes, but in real life? Oh, was that Argentina celebrating the win of the World Cup? I don't know, but they're only supposed to thank you when you donate, even though they ignore that and bother people. Yeah, see you, Peter, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. No, 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 no. I should go get that bloody penguin that sings that song. Yes, Merry Christmas. And we'll probably see each other before New Year's, but we'll see. And bother people, interesting. No, no, that's definitely not... It's fascinating how different the Salvation Army seems to be in America than it is the Salvation Army that I grew up with, at least. It was like, some people even died. Good God. You won the World Cup. Some people kicked around a ball better than some other people. You didn't, you know, cure world hunger or something. Jesus. Sports fans frighten me sometimes. But I'm glad it was entertaining for you, J-Hack. But, yes. What was I thinking about? Yes, it's fascinating the difference between those sort of organizations between countries. Because I feel like there's all these things that people talk about with the server. Now, I've mentioned it when I was talking to this is going to be a bit dark, but yeah, I feel like when I mentioned it to an American, they were like, "Ugh, the Salvation Army, horrible, ugh, disgusting." And granted, the Australian Salvation Army isn't perfect by no stretch of the imagination, but it certainly doesn't have some of the problems you fellas have over there. What the hell happened to you guys? I don't know why I'm asking you, like you all know. Don't you believe in our Lord and Savior, Messi, the next coming of Jesus Christ? Born on Christmas Day? Yes. It was a bit of a shame. I'm happy that Australia got into the 16 round, though. Round of 16. They got to the round of 16 and then lost to Argentina. So we lost to the champions. To be honest, 2-1 against the champions. I think we did pretty well. So I'll say, I think Australia did a pretty good one. We don't do very well. Oh, don't worry. It's, Australia just isn't very good at soccer. Most of the time. Honestly, in the world of international sports, we're just not very good. We're not very good in the round of international sports. Though I think the women's did really well recently. The women did really well recently. In something. I can't remember what. An Australian women football team? Can't remember. But it's alright, J-Hank. I'll forgive you. I was kind of hoping one of the two countries I liked would get closer, but they both lost in the round of 16. Both Australia and Japan. A shame. Will you take me even if I'm male, Eric? Well, unfortunately not. I'm too old for that sort of game. Cool spider person. I'm a bit too old for all of that. I'm flattered, however. But yes, we treat him as a god. Guy almost tried to die trying to get on the team bus. Threw himself from a bridge to land on the roof and missed. Good bloody god. Okay, they really are treating him like Jesus Christ. I thought that was hyperbole. What do they think if they touch the top of his socks? Or the hem of his sports shorts? They'll be, I don't know, cured of all their soccer-related ills. Like Jesus walking through that town and that lady getting cured of a hemophilia because she touched the hem of his shirt. Or the hem of his robe. Oh no, probably. Oh dear. It's a shame though, I really wanted Australia to get at least to the round. I wanted them to get to the quarterfinals at least. Well, not the quarterfinals, how many finals? It's a round of 16. I don't think we're going to get at least to the round of 8. I don't think we'll never got to the round of 4, but it would have been nice. They were doing well. Shockingly enough, they did quite well against a team they weren't expected to do very well against, if I remember correctly. First, they qualified, which is a start. That doesn't always happen. Yes, they were surprised. Same with Japan, actually. There were a few underdog victories. You know, Japan did surprisingly well against some very good teams. I just don't think Australia we're just not good enough on the international stage sometimes with sports. I'm not really into sports, but I do think about it often. I get sad because, you know, I want Australia to do well, but we don't always do it. Realizing this is not very at all Christmas. But this is Christmas adjacent nonsense. You know, Messi, everyone believes Messi is Jesus. And therefore, Jesus was born on Christmas Day. Christmas adjacent nonsense. There you go. A degree of 2 separations. We're still on topic. I wonder if I put that hat back on, it'll crash everything. Where's that? Should make another cup of tea, honestly. But, seriously, I don't know how they can win at football. They can't win it. I don't know. Don't know why they're not good at soccer, football, or any of the other soccer and football, both the same thing. And also all the different ways of saying things. I don't know why. They're just not. One of those things. Why? Well, the Europeans have been doing it for a lot longer, I think. They also have a sort of... There's less focus in Australia on it. We focus more on rugby and that sort of thing, and even then we're not very good at it. Rugby and... Rugby Union and Rugby League. And also our own AFL, Australian Rules Football. Football League, so Aussie Rules Football. Very interesting, honestly. Should I have a watch at Australian Rules Football? It's bizarre. But, yes, I just wonder if we've got such a small population. I sometimes wonder if we're just not going to rigorous enough. And we don't really have much chances to compete overseas, you see. With our teams cut often. We don't quite often go... In Europe, they're always playing against each other and pushing each other to be better. But, Australia just doesn't have that. We have New Zealand. They always beat us in rugby. Have I ever been to New Zealand? Yes, a long time ago, but not very long. I really haven't visited New Zealand that much. Not had much of an interest. It would be fun to go see the Shire, I suppose, these days, but... No. Yes, I really haven't... I wouldn't say I visited New Zealand properly, no. Why do you ask? What, are you visiting New Zealand? How popular is Aussie Rules Football, the Australian Football League, you mean, AFL? I assume is what you're asking. Aussie Rules, or just Australian, like, footballers and so. It's very confusing. Why does everyone use these names? Aussie rules football. Let's look at the statistics. I know a fair few people who watch it. I believe it's quite popular, if I remember correctly. AFL is clearly the #1 professional sports in Australia by any means of the key performance indicators: attendance, ratings, sponsorship, media retentions. There are also second league tiers in every Australian state and territory, as well as amateur, community, youth, women's, and girls' leagues. I don't know why women's and girls' leagues were literally the last one. The one with the football-shaped football, not a round football. Okay, as I'm saying, there are two of those. You've got rugby, where they're running with it, and it's rugby league. And there's rugby union, too. That's a whole thing. There's technically 3. You've got rugby league, rugby union, and Aussie rules. Aussie rules is very different from the other two, but they all use a similar ball, I believe. Union. Oh, are you good at rugby? Well, no. I was never very a good sportsman. I could do a lot of stuff. I could play, but I was never a very good sportsman myself. I did soccer for years, but it was a sort of popular thing. So, is there a throwing in Australian football? Aussie rules football? Yes. I believe they're kicking more often than this. I'll admit, my knowledge of Aussie rules football is exceedingly limited. I'm not very good at this whole thing. There's a lot of jumping and kicking and throwing. There's also tackling, as always. Ah, yes. So, I believe in rugby union, they're able to throw backwards. They do that spinning throw backwards to their teammates. And that's the idea. You can't throw forwards, you always have to throw backwards. In rugby union. In Aussie rules, you do the punt. So you sort of hold the ball in your hand and hit it. You're sort of throwing it, you're like passing it in that way. What do they call it? Handball. They call it handballing. I don't know why. But yeah, you place it in the palm of your hand, you hit it, and that's Aussie rules. So it's kind of throwing. That's a successful. They pass it that way. Well, this year's streams, what was your favourite playthrough? Ah, that's a good question. Let me go pull up the channel. Aussie rules pretty interesting though. They do these spectacular jumps in Aussie rules. I think everyone should give it a watch. It'll be fun. Maybe we should watch a game of Aussie rules football as a stream on the next season. So I don't know if the season's on right now. It probably is. It goes to show how much I know about this game. So, I wonder what classes is popular on my channel. Ah, that one Kirby stream that got me 230 views for some ungodly reason. I'll never understand why. That random the thumbnail wasn't even that good. Sounds like a good way to get a copyright strike. I won't. Everyone will watch it separately. We'll all watch it like a watch along. We'll watch the highlights of a game as a watch along. Yes, there you go. Bizarre. I still don't understand why that one stream, out of nowhere, got 230 views. Twice as many views as anything else I've ever had. It's bizarre. But yes, streams. I really didn't, looking back on it, I did enjoy Valhalla. And I did like my sort of horror playthrough of all the different Chiller's Arts games. They were fun. I don't think this is good for a New Year's stream, but, you know, honestly, we'll do it again on the New Year's stream. If we do a New Year's stream. I don't know if I'll have the chance to do a New Year's stream this year. Last year I was able to do it because I wasn't doing anything else. And I was able to, you know, set up the cocktail stream, but... don't know if I'll be able to do it this year. I don't know. You're gonna make a TH out of games? Oh, maybe that'll be good for the... maybe that's a good idea. You know what? Write that one down, Lafahi. That sounds like a good one for the New Year's stream. We'll actually rank the games. Maybe I won't talk about this now. It'll be good. Do like a whole tier list thing. That'll be fun. First stream I commented in the chat. Was it? The New Year's one. We should, yeah, look through all the stuff we did this year and, sort of, But the thing is, even Yakuza was this year. That's gonna be a tough one. So I think a tier list would be better. I think Yakuza was this year. I think it was the New Year's one. So let's find the New Year's one, then I'll know where I am. It's definitely not that. That's back all the way then. So I started playing Yakuza... yeah, this year. Where is my New Year's stream? There it is. Ah, it's one of the Between the Uncharted streams. There it is. New Year, inexorably older me. There you go. So we'd have to start there and go forward. And put them all on a... oh, we did Shakespeare. We started reading we did reading Shakespeare this year. Oh, we played Inside. A lot has happened this year, to be honest. Back when I actually bothered to do bloody... actually bothered to actually do collaborations. God, I need to get my bloody ducks in a row when it comes to that sort of thing. I had my very Santa Claus looking character in Elden Ring. I really like that beard, to be honest. So yeah, Yakuza, Elden Ring, Deus Ex, Dead Space, Quantum Conundrum, Ghostwire, Borderlands, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Inscription was this year too. Yes, never forget the mugger. Oh yes, that was then, wasn't it? That hour-long Elden Ring stream that got cut short. Yes, I remember that. Sad day that was. Oops, no Quantum Conundrum. The computer fought back. Oh, that's the, oh, which one is that? It's got Suze in it. I can't remember the... yes. Ah, it has been a year, hasn't it? Play Dead Space 2, Deus Ex. Then straight into... wow, that does not feel that long ago. It's amazing how time flies, doesn't it? And we had that spot... Lean experience. Oh my god, I forgot about that. You fellas in the chat just absolutely not shutting up about Lean. Yeah, this epic tale of war and loss and tragedy and love and death and all this thing. It was an epic. It was an epic of Shakespearean proportions. The old Greeks couldn't put a candle to the epics they were writing about Glean in that game. Ugh. And we did 2 cooking streams this year. Me versus lasagna and versus okonomiyaki. Those were fun. I should try and do a few more of those. Definitely once I get to Japan, if I have the space, I might try and do a few more cooking streams. I think they'll be fun. Just open this cooking stream to see. Oh yes, we cooked brownies too, didn't we? Yeah, when you reveal it, yeah, that's right, the PS2 just is sitting in the corner of those kicking streams the whole time, wasn't it? Yes, we'll have to do a year in retrospect, won't we? When, I think you'll enjoy the kombuni feed too much to overcook. I know, but I've actually recently been cooking a lot of Japanese food. I've been cooking, like, soborodon. I've cooked a sort of a ginger miso chicken, which was spectacular. It was probably some of the best chicken I've ever had, and I cooked it. I was very happy with myself. There was a miso salmon, because I'm staying with lots of white meat and and salmon, so fish and white meat these days, trying to be a bit more health conscious. I'm not eating as much other things, though I say that and I'm eating, but I'm trying to keep my cholesterol down. It's going to be hard to keep it down next year, but you know, I'm suffering with a brother-in-law who's having real trouble with his cholesterol, so I'm sort of you know, doing it in solidarity. Yes, I wonder what it'll look like next year, but I'll try and do some cooking. Granted, I got so fed up with Deus Ex, you started playing Monster Hunter again. I forgot about that. Because it kept crashing. What was it? Upsal Monster Hunter Rise. Yes, it just kept crashing. I fixed it, though. I fixed it, and then we finished the game, and at the end, I felt positively about it. So it turned around. It turned it around on me. I managed to get back to it. It was like the opposite of the most recent new game we played, Callisto Protocol, where I felt really... Actually, well, Callisto Protocol was more of like a roller coaster of emotions. I was happy with it. I was initially disappointed, then happy with it, then disappointed, then sort of okay with it, then sort of not that disappointed with it, till I got to a middling opinion of a 6 out of 10. Stray was fun. The Cat was fun. That was an interesting game to play. Returnal, the game that almost immediately everyone started railing very hard against me playing, so I stopped playing it. Metal Gear Revenge, the romance between Raiden and Sam, yes. The whole game being an analogy for all his very toxic very toxic relationships. Then we had Thymesia, which was an alright indie game. Felt a bit bland. Good ideas, but a bit bland. We're talking about it in retrospect anyway, I suppose. I shouldn't talk about this. 20th Century Houses, dude. I've gotten onto this now. Now I should be leaving this for the stream that I'll do whenever I do the New Year's stream. Oh, I could do it Thursday next week, I suppose. Because I think we'll be probably doing only one stream a week for the next bit. Until everything calms down work-wise for me. So we could probably do a stream on Thursday. It won't be on... because that'll be pretty close. So next week, Thursday, that'll be pretty close. Excuse me. I related hard with that... Yes, related hard with the girl. Oosh. That was... I don't think I was good at that game. Meaning... Streamer Overload was purposely designed to make a lot of big things happen, you know? It was there, and everyone was supposed to play it and react to it. I don't think I did a good job at it. I wasn't very good. I wasn't a good streamer. I was disappointed with my performance during that stream. I could have done better with my personal performance. I think I just didn't do good enough as a streamer with that game. There was so much I could have done in that game, and I didn't. So many jokes I could have made, comments, I was just overwhelmed by the game. I was thrown for a loop. I didn't know how to handle it. I was disappointed with how I didn't handle it well. Which is a weird way of putting things. But, you know, I felt like I could have done a better go at that game, you know, and reacted better, and I don't know why I was so disappointed with myself when it came to that needy streamer overload game. Strange. I felt disappointed with myself for some reason. I suppose it's because it operated on a humor that I don't usually use. So, it operated on a sort of humor. The reaction is interesting. You had the strongest reaction of any Vtuber I've ever seen play it. And I think... I don't know. I just felt like I always felt like I was reeling, like I wasn't doing properly. And maybe that's because... Maybe that's a personal thing. Maybe it's a personal thing. Perhaps I thought I wasn't in control, and therefore I thought I was doing a bad job. It comes from a sort of being a boss and controlling things and operating things. Perhaps I felt I wasn't controlling my performance enough. And maybe that's where the strongest reaction came out of. I always thought there was people with a lot stronger reaction than me, I thought. But, I don't know. There's also, looking back on it, there were a lot of jokes I missed. And I was like, damn it! I could have said this very clever thing. Oh well. It's interesting, though, that you say I had a strong reaction. I'll have to go back and watch it. Maybe I've just got a poor view of it myself. Looking back on it. Everhood, that was interesting. Bizarre. That game certainly really took a turn, didn't it, Everhood? You're being uncontrolled is pretty much the premise of the game. I know. I know. Goes to show why I'll never have kids. Everhood was quite fun. Wanderers, the Frankenstein's creature. I enjoyed that game, but I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea. There was a sort of chatting. I don't know what we were doing. Oh, that's right. We're reading strange stories. That's when we read all those sort of humanity is cool or one of those, you know, and those Reddit no sleeps and sort of thing, didn't we? And read like Japanese horror and stuff like that. Yeah, that was fun. I liked that. Well, I really should get around to doing some more reading streams, shouldn't I? Now I'll read the whole Nativity. Quickly, get out your Bibles, kids. It's time to read the Nativity. It's a shame you missed the Inscription game, Inscription streams. I didn't know how I was going to enjoy the Inscription stream, Inscription as a game, but I actually did quite enjoy it. One of the stream that I didn't expect to work so well was when I got my new audio equipment, and suddenly you guys all turned up, and started sitting there chatting with me as I, adjusted my new microphone and all that stuff. That was fun. I remember that being a surprisingly successful out-of-nowhere stream. Remember the focus streams that much. Remember being there, though. Yes. It's kind of a more artsy game. I kind of wanted to play it. It kind of harkened back to what I originally did at the start of streaming. Playing things like Galgoa and the Blair Witch games, that feel a bit more artistic in the way they do things. Galgoa and Dark Side Detective. I still can't believe that's the first game I played. It's Galgoa. Very good, fascinating game though. I knew it was going to be short, that's why. Call of Cthulhu. One of my favourite streams of this year. The audio testing stream. I don't know. I was just in a good flow that time. We had a good fun. It's such a plain streaming. Maybe I should do more of that sort of thing. I'm starting to realize sometimes, and I think you guys enjoy me just talking. Sometimes. I wonder if you're like, get this gaming shit out of the way. All of the streams should be you reading poetry or talking. Oh, this is a very slow version of this song. Wonderlands. I liked the customization of Wonderlands. I could make a very good Eric in Wonderlands. That was fun. But otherwise, it was a sort of normal game. Not there, nor there. Suddenly, it was definitely preceded by Kirby, which is a spectacularly weird game. I still do not understand what kind of strange substance the team that make Kirby games have always been on. I don't know what fuels their creativity. Oh, we had another PlayStation 2 stream there, where I was drinking Carlton Zero. enjoyed your talks. That's your video games. It just happens that everyone was able, available in the mood for fun. Available in the mood for fun, yes. It's partway through Kirby that I did the next sort of look through the PS2 games, didn't I? Yeah. Trying to find something, but yes. It's fascinating. What games did I play this time? I feel like I started with Raven? Or Crash Bandicoot a bit. Oh, God. Oh, yes, I played, I was attempting to learn how to play Tony Hawk again, wasn't I? Partway through this. Oh, God. That was something else, wasn't it? Maybe I should actually try a proper... Oh, we played some Sonic games. I don't know if I can find some of the saves for these games. I feel like I'm missing some of the memory cards. I'll see if I can find some of the memory cards again. We'll have another PlayStation and maybe we'll be able to find a memory card with actually, you know... a memory card with the old saves on it. I can't remember. I think there was a blue and a gold memory card that I can't seem to find. So one of the nephews must have it. Oh, we had 120 subscribers when I then. We're at 160 now, aren't we? What happened to have my other tinsel? I just realised. I'm missing one of my other tinsel. I've just been missing it this whole stream. Chat talked about pirated games. Yeah, it's true. No. Metal Gear Rising, though. That was a fun game, wasn't it? Dead Space 2, good as I remember. Bioshock with that stupid helmet and the shrunk face. That was fun. Good game, Bioshock. Interesting to style. It kind of did feel a bit different. My personal thing. Again, there's a few games here that you realize that they were entirely me. That I wanted to play, and one of those was Monster Hunter. I really enjoy them as games. And this was about when I'd started slowing down because I didn't have as much time anymore. So we had to sit there and chat, I suppose. Sekiro was another one of those games where I played entirely because I wanted to. I think I did a good job with the thumbnails this year as well. I think some of the thumbnails I did were quite good. I don't know how much you thought the horror game, me doing the creepy faces with the black and white and all that stuff with that, but yeah. Do you check out your actually store regularly? Oh yes, they're having that free games thing now, aren't they? I didn't check yesterday's game. Well, I know there should be another game. Yeah, I do check them regularly for free games. Yes. I do check regularly for free games. We should do a rendition of weird stuff, shouldn't we? Lego Builder's Journey? What the hell is this? Do you just build Lego? I don't know, I'm gonna get it, it's free. I just get all the free games. I don't even plan to play them. I've got a lot of free games I don't intend to play. Alright. GM RF11708. Good to see you. I'm assuming that's a bot. A very unusual bot. Oh, I got a holiday coupon, did I? Yes. Oh. I wasn't expecting it to reply. Not like anybody. I don't... Yes is usually not what I get from bots. That's an unusual reaction, I'll admit. I didn't realize they had gained sentience. Or been able to try to pass the Turing test. They're evolving! Ah! Well, if you're not a bot, I apologize. No bot, thinking person. Fair enough. There you go. Well, hello, mate. Sorry for mistaking you as a bot. I should have known. There's not enough explicit language in your name for you to be a bot. I apologize. How are you, though? We're sitting here talking about my year in retrospect, to be honest, which may be a bit boring for someone who hasn't been watching me this whole time. But we're talking about the things we've been doing this year. What we're planning to do for Christmas. You look like that Santa guy. No, what are you talking about? I'm not Santa. No relation whatsoever. I live in Australia, not the North Pole. It's the complete opposite side of the world. What are you talking about? There are no ho-ho-hos here. Of either type. Hello, the Grinch. Here to ruin Christmas? Or are you the Grinch after his heart grew 3 sizes that most mysterious day? Yes. I'm sitting here drinking my Christmas tea. That's actually what it's called. It's beautiful. Very festive. I should make another pot of this stuff, honestly. It's wonderful stuff. What a big cake. Best I know of my family. Still don't know. Ooh, a bit of a surprise for Christmas, eh? What sort of cake is it? Is it a Christmas cake or just a normal sort of less festively specific cake? I'm okay with Christmas cake. Not my favorite cake. And even though Australia is very well known for loving pavlova, I'm also not that much of a fan of pavlovas, to be honest. Terrible Australian, I know. Ooh, an unusual cake. Fancy. Ooh. Intimidating Santa will get you trouble with Coca-Cola. Oh, yes. Sorry. I have no relation to Father Christmas and or Saint Nicholas. Nah, I changed my own. Christmas and that Santa guy's cringe. Oh, dear. His heart has shrunk 3 sizes this day. Oh, no. The Grinch is coming. Ah, I missed the free fighting herds. Fighting herds? What the bloody hell is that? Are you fighting a herd or are herds fighting each other? Fighting herds. Fighting herds on Steam. It's an indie game. Isn't that just... What is that? Isn't that just My Little Pony or something? Isn't that My Little Pony? The phone game was falling over. Oh, okay, it was. Would you believe the last time I saw My Little Pony wasn't because a child of the family was watching it? It's because my nephew had a friend who was really into My Little Pony. And my nephew lost a bet, so he had to watch My Little Pony with his friend. And I so happened to visit that nephew when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous foals, I suppose. Your face is My Little Pony. JK. Oh, hello, the Jack. As always, a very definite entrance, just like the article on the front of your name. I have a bunch of AI art that Santa got hitting those elf workers. I think it will ruin Santa for some middle-aged kids around my city. Oh no. The deepfakes are coming after Santa as well. What is the world coming to? Father, old Saint Nick is not even safe from the power of deepfakes. Yes, how are you, J-Hag? Feeling positively festive? Ignore the fact that the tints, the decorations above me disappear halfway through. It crashed too many times and I am too lazy to fix it. Actually, I'll fix it now. wow. The Epic Games coupon in Australia is like $20. Is it fun? Yeah. What are you gonna do for the festive season? Just chilling right now? What's everyone doing for the festive season? Do you salute me again, or do you try to salute Jack? I don't know, I'm just saying hello to everyone. Here we are, you sure are the Grinch. Saluting everyone. This model, surprisingly enough, is very good at doing that sort of that kind of hand to the head and then the salute. But you can also get very badly saluted. It can also turn into a very bad salute if you're not careful. Have to be careful. I don't particularly want to be put in front of the Hague. But yes, fighting holds, huh? Rough times. What a gentleman. Saluting everyone. Pulling out left, right, and center. Saying hi to everyone. Hello. Oh no, not that salute. Indeed. Gotta be careful, mate. Got to be careful. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Ooh. That's a question, ain't it? The classic joke response that I'm sure you're all sick of is Die Hard. But no, it's not. God. What's a movie that I often watched around Christmas? I guess I really don't watch that many Christmas movies. The thing is, none come to mind immediately. Polar Express, that's a good one. I did watch that one many times. You would not believe how many times I've also watched things like, what was that one? That bloody rom-com one. My favorite is legitimately Die Hard. Oh, okay. It's a... Which one am I trying to think? The Grinch Stole Christmas is quite good. That is a good one. The old original cartoon, as well as the more modern rendition with, who was it again? Ah, bloody hell, why is that actor's name escaping me? Jim Carrey? That was a fun one. Jim Carrey's one was quite good. For some reason in our family, for years, we kept watching that bloody... older one. What? That one? I can remember the cover. I could see the cover. No, Die Hard 2 is the better Christmas movie. I mean, the whole thing. Cringe live action. Jim Carrey, that's one. I quite like that one, honestly. Ah, Love Actually. That's the one. Love Actually. That was the one I was thinking of. Home Alone was good. I did watch that one often around Christmas. The Snowman. That was one, and it has the Walking Through the Air, which is one of my favorite Christmas songs, to be honest. Is Walking in the Air, in the midnight moon. I really like that song. Ah, Miracle on 34th Street. That was a good one. Because I don't really watch that many Christmas movies. I'll put that forward. Jack Frost is a movie. Not a good one, but it is a movie. I just like Walking in the Air for the Snowman. Nightmare Before Christmas, yes. Muppet Christmas Carol was good. It's a shame I haven't watched it that much. It's been years since I've watched it. Jack Frost the Killer Snowman, by the way. Oh, I wouldn't have guessed. Sounds like a dole for his old son. Who knows? Which one was that? The, yeah, yeah, the fellow is lining up for all these things and fighting his way, like the Beanie Baby craze. It was like a making fun of that sort of Beanie Baby craze, and that what is that one? Christmas movie about a doll. Jingle all the way. No, my favorite Christmas song is Christmas in the Trenches. Brings a tear to my eye every time. What's everyone's favorite annoying Christmas carol or Christmas song? Yeah, go with that. They're talking about Christmas movies, of which we've discovered I do not have a favorite Christmas movie. Home Alone's probably the closest. My favorite Christmas song is definitely up there, is Walking in the Air, just because it's so bizarre. I don't understand why anyone made it. It's kind of creepy, but it's fun. I quite enjoy it. Yes, what's everyone's favorite Christmas song? We've had all the classics today. All I Want for Christmas by Dave Rogers, best Christmas Eurobeat. Didn't realize that was a category. But yeah, sure. It is true that Christmas in the Trenches was a good song, but I don't think it was a Christmas song. It's good. It was only made in 2006, though. It's a fairly modern song, if I remember correctly. Maybe? I can't remember. Trenches... Oh, it was 84. Yeah, that's right, 84. It's just fairly modern, I suppose. By John McKinnon. It was a very good song. It's my favourite Christmas song. Christmas in the Trenches. And Walking in the Air. I annoyed my teacher by singing Jingle Bells during non-stop Christmas time. Oh no. Dear oh dear. I've always wondered, what is the deal with American schools around Christmas? Because in Australia, school finishes beginning of December. And doesn't start again till February sometime, I think. How's Christmas in America go? I suppose this is our summer holiday, so it'd be similar to your summer holiday. School academic calendar. We get 2 weeks off. Oh. Because yes, I believe... So this year, semester 1, the first start of the school year, started on the 20th of January. And the final date was the 18th of... or the 25th of November. So you have all of December. I believe all of December... I can't remember. Was... Maybe it's most of December. At least most of December. I think it might be most of December. Let me see. December... Yes, I think... December 10th is when it starts. You have from 10th to the 20th the next year, essentially. So that's... You know, 40 days or something like that. Christmas is tied to winter break. Be Home for Christmas, specifically that one cover by Camila Cabello where she pronounces Christmas weirdly and TikTok made fun of it for a whole week. Oh dear. Oh, that's a shame. How the hell did she pronounce Christmas? Christ Mass? Or something like that? Was she saying like Christ Mass? Or something like that? Jeez. Christmas is tied to winter break. Yes, I know that. I just don't know how long. Because in Australia, of course, it's summer. Here, it's blue Christmas. Or stormy Christmas in our case. But, so we have our, of course... Oh, the 12 Days of Christmas is playing. Quick! Whoever's going absolutely mad in the Discord with the whole 12 Days of Christmas thing. Start going nuts. Quismoas. Hey. Alien Christmas tree. I'm not gonna try and sing the rest of that, but I'm loving your enthusiasticness for this, J. Hank. I can't wait to see the rest of the items you add to that list of the 12 days of Christmas. I'm going nuts there, not here. Fair enough. I'll have to read them all out to my family on Christmas Day once we get to the end of the list. Also, I was under the impression you started at 1 and went up to 12. You've started at 12 and started going down to 1? I feel like you just wanted to put gay time ice creams at the first thing, but you wanted to have 12 of them. That's the Polar Express with John Hanks, the conductor, the kid, the Santa, the parents, the kid, and all the kids, the ghost of the future Christmas, and the Christmas Express herself. I really liked how creepy that movie got at times. It's a weird way of putting it, but the fellow, the ghost of Christmas future, the sort of ghost that they meet on that train, with the, he reminded me of how they describe old, Australian, like, prospectors. You see, when I always saw that, every time I saw that character, I would think of Waltzing Matilda, the song. And a lot of the ideas of the Australian prospector. And the sort of old style of a... You know, they're cooking, you know... And I know it's supposed to be like a homeless person or something like that. Like sort of the American homeless person. Like, I have heard Christmas miracles from happening, so I'm a dip now. See you nerds, and happy holiday, boys. Well, thanks for coming, the Grinch. I'm glad you didn't try and ruin this little weird Christmas ceremony too much. But you have fun. Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year if I don't see you before then. But yes, that always reminded me of the sort of Australian gold prospector. Take my toys and leave. How long was that happening? How long did I accidentally just turn myself off? Oh, just there. That was a bit weird. How did I press that? I take that as a bad. Yes, I suppose. He took his toys and left. He was like, oh, take my toys and leave. But that was pretty wild. I was pretty forgiving to him, to be honest. I feel like I was quite lenient. Even though I believed he was not saying a single word of truth, no matter when he spoke, but... Super Lesbian Animal RPG was released on Steam. That's a name and a half. Good God, what a name. But yes, what was I talking about before we mentioned that? Oh yes, I really enjoy in Moonies when they have that sort of weird, mysterious... What intonation was that? Very colourful. That sort of weird, mysterious thing that never is correct. Like the fellow... Ah, I see, it's the first thing. Just 4 spaces above Sex with Hitler #2. Electric Boogaloo. Amazing. The game's on Steam. Truly the dichotomy of man. We've got Super Lesbian Animal RPG, War Sim, The Realm of Asonia, Fresh Start Cleaning Simulator, Antimatter Dimensions, and Sex with Hitler 2. What a time to be alive. Also, there's one called My Pleasure. Steam is certainly getting steamy in here. Ooh. Certainly getting steamy. But yes, I do like mysterious things in movies that don't ever get explained, like in The Polar Express and His Ghost. I know I keep repeating it, but I really enjoy that stuff. If I were ever to make stuff, that would definitely have been it. Just strange side characters that hinted at a greater universe beyond the scope of the movie. Gods that are there but don't help. You know, sort of gods and spirits, or mysterious beings of great power that are there but don't actually help the main characters beyond talking to them once. I always like that idea. It's kind of fun. So, Melody has decided to become a healer in this classic-inspired turn-based RPG about love, anxiety, and fighting funny-looking monsters in dungeons. Right. Interesting. Oh, Chet. What a cool guy. Yes, it is about what you expect. It's that sort of androgynous, furry shenanigans. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Ooh. Stretching. Oh, been talking a while. My backs have been breaking apart. Oh, we've only got oh, my favourite. Bearing us from travels afar. This is very foreboding, this slow, when it's this slow. And fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Wonder, star of light, star of royal beauty bright. It's actually my favorite, one of my favorite carols of the classic style is We Three Kings. I'm starting to realize I just enjoy kind of differently keyed Christmas music. Getting night through. West winding still proceeding, guide us to perfect light. Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star of royal beauty bright, west wind leading still, proceeding, letting I've got a bit of time. It's so slow, this version. I know it's because it's supposed to be background music, so it's really slow and not really intrusive. But it is my favorite. I really like it. The life of gathering gloom. It's really quite depressing. What's your favorite Christmas poem? Oh. It's a very specific one, isn't it? I'll be honest, because as part of the Salvation Army, I did Nativity and carols. Beyond that, I didn't really do much. Christmas stories, A Christmas Carol is good. I like that one. 12 Days of Eric. God, I feel like there's... Because a lot of them, the ones I've lived with, is secular, and I've sort of cut myself off from a lot of that sort of thing. But I feel like there's one on the tip of my tongue that I can't remember. Book-like. A Christmas Carol is good. That one is very well done. Good old Dickens. Nope. Merry Christmas. We're getting to the end of the music. It's actually going to have to repeat soon. Honestly, I know it's a story. And I know there are stories you're looking for, but again, one of my favorite Christmas stories to tell is the story of Christmas in the Trenches, the Christmas Truces. Those stories of the Christmas truce. That's always a fascinating little story. And it's one of my favorites to tell as like a cool, fun fact. Oh, did you know? During the war. Granted, maybe that's just the people I was growing around, and that's the sort of stories they would tell. Christmas Carols by Dickens was good. There's a lot of them. But, I'd say, yeah, mostly Christmas. I have more experience with Christmas carols rather than Christmas poetry. Beyond the sort of nativity story. Which is fun. I always laugh at one of the three wise men, and one of them brought myrrh, which is for death. Imagine you having a baby shower, and one of the gifts was, well, here's the urn your child is going to be in when he eventually inexorably dies. Oh, here's the perfume he'll wear when he's a corpse. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas is my favourite Christmas poem. Yes, 'twas the night before Christmas. And all things white. Let's have a read of that one. 'Twas the night. That's for the visit from St. Nicholas, isn't it? That's the one I know about. It's interesting it has two names, but it's the very famous 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Let's have a read. Oh! Greenfield? Yeah. I was not expecting this one to turn up. Greensleeves. Huh. I would have never said Greensleeve would be a Christmas song. No Jingle Bell Rock, that's not unfortunately out of... That's a pretty modern song. So I don't think you can... You can't really, play that one, unfortunately. It's the same with Walking in the Air, because it was only made in the 80s. It's not in public domain, whereas most of these other songs were. As they were written a lot longer ago. But let's Gonna wait the 30 second thing. Then we'll write "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Isn't there a Christmas carol? There's probably a carol based on a lot of the ancient. That's why Old Lang Syne was. Sleeves. It's carol. I'm. How old is? Oh. It's a New Year carol. Carol of the Bells. How old is Carol of the Bells? Ah, what child is this? Yes, what child is this? Let's just get it repeat, but yes, what child is this? I remember that one. Oh, it's been years since I've played that one. Hark the herald's angels. No. That's hark the herald's angels sing glory to the newborn king. That's this one, I think. No, that's not this one. This is another one. I think this is Sweet Child, Mary's Boy Child? I can't remember. I've got a terrible memory for this. It's been years since I've done a caroling service. This is Angels We Have Heard on High. I thought 3 ships. Oh wow, they do. Oh come on, you come on, Emmanuel, the holy night, a little town of oh little town of Bethlehem. Do, 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 do. Once in royal David's. That's all very interesting. They'll come back to me when I think about it. But what's the one I was just? What's the one I exclaimed the name of? Ah, Christmas bells. Carol of the Bells. That is horrifying. Another one of those creepy ones, and I also like that one. Carol of the Bells. Who did Carol of the Bells? That was 1916. It wasn't originally a Christmas song. It was originally about a bird, apparently. Made by a Ukrainian fellow. Yeah, what child is this? Well... I just gotta get the creepy Carol of the Bells because I feel like it. Oh yes, I also had snow. It crashed, so I didn't get it. I did get like an animated snow thing that I had. I could have put that on. And some Christmas lights that actually are animated. Getting more Christmassy as we go. Wonder if this will work. There it is. Absolutely mad. Ah! 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 Snow! Oh my god. That is some furiously moving song. I'm in a bloody blizzard. Ah! Oh my god. There you go. I had one for my PC too. But my CPU is on push buttons. Yes. Anyway. Let's read this carol of "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Let's harken back to the old poetry streams and story streams of old. Settled in for... Let's turn the music down a bit. Settle in for a bit of a... full text of this poem. I assume this is the proper version of it. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mamma in her chief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to the objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, on Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all! As dry leaves that before the wild hurricanes fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew my hand, and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry, his droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself, and a wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team, and gave whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." There you go. A fun 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It's a fun read, isn't it? It has a beautiful sort of cadence and rhythm to it. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It really reminds me of some of the ones I like. That's what comes with a good poem, is the sort of beautiful sort of rhythm to poetry that you can get. That's why I like a lot of Banjo Patterson stuff so much. It's got this fun little rhythm to it. And why I like a very unusual poem such as what's it called again? The Ancient Mariner, the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Well, it became Merry Christmas in the United States. It's a good question. It's Merry Christmas elsewhere. I have a hat behind me that says that sort of thing. But yes, Happy Christmas to all. And actually, it says Happy Christmas. Huh. But yes, you have Happy Holidays, I believe, in America, don't you? But yes, Happy Christmas, yeah. Merry Christmas. Well, I suppose it makes sense. Merry is part of the whole thing. Merry is very heavy. The word merry is associated with Christmas quite often. It's Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Your face is merry, thank you. I should have finished with that. That would have been a perfect finisher. Dang it. See if there's not any good Christmas poems, eh? Hmm. A visit from Saint Nick. That's pretty much the one everyone has done. Love came down at Christmas. That's a interesting name. The first Christmas. It never snows. Well, then ends an insult towards the reader. And a Merry Christmas. I'm gonna see if there was a... What was that very unusual song? Really unusual Christmas carol that I always laugh at. The one about the king. Good King Westlessness, or whatever the bloody hell is. King Wenslessness. Don't know what that's about. A Bohemian king who goes on a journey. It's a tough song to play, to be honest. Good King Wenceslas. You could read All I Want for Christmas by You by M. Carey. All I want for Christmas is you. So, I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you. Yeah. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. Don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I don't need to hang my stocking there upon the fireplace. Santa Claus won't make me happy with a toy on Christmas Day. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you. I won't ask much for this Christmas. I won't even wish for snow. I'm just gonna keep on waiting underneath the mistletoe. I won't make a list and send it to the North Pole for St. Nick. I won't even stay awake to hear those magic reindeer click. 'Cause I just want you here tonight, holding on to me so tight. What more can I do? Oh baby, all I want for Christmas is you. Oh yes, I have top chat on, I can't see the bot. Oh, the lights are shining so brightly everywhere. And the sounds of Christmas laughter fills the air. And everyone is singing. I hear those sleigh bells ringing. Santa, won't you bring me the one I really need? Won't you bring me my baby to me? Oh, I don't want a lot of for Christmas. Oh, I don't want a lot for Christmas. This is all I'm asking for. I just want to see my baby standing right outside my door. Oh, I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you. And they just repeat, all I want for Christmas is you, baby, over and over again. There's something very funny about saying Christmas, singing, just saying it like poetry. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents, just underneath the Christmas tree. I don't know why that's funny. I wonder if there's any Australian Christmas poems. Thank you, I know. Thank you, I know. Amazing. I know, thank you. Somebody seems to have made... Nobody knows who it was made by. Huh. Somebody's made a version. I don't know how good it is. It's a lot less annoying this way. Somebody seems to have made a version of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but it's the Aussie version. So, how do I go to this accent? 'Twas the night before Christmas. There wasn't a sound. Not a possum was stirring. No one's around. We'd left on the table some tucker and beer, hoping that Santa Claus soon would be here. We children, he snuggled up, safe in our beds, while dreams of Pavlova danced around in our heads. And me mum in her nightie and me dad in his shorts had just settled to watch TV sports, when outside the house my mad ruckus arose. Loud squeaking and banging woke us from our doze. We ran to the screen door, peeked cautiously out, and snuck onto the deck and let out a shout. Guess what had woken us from our snooze but a rusty old ute pulled by 8 mighty roos. The cheerful man was giggling with glee, for we both knew at once who this plump bloke must be. Now I'm telling the truth, it's all dinky-dee. Those 8 kangaroos fairly soared through the sky, and Santa leaned out the window to pull in the reins, encouraged the roos and by calling their names. Now Kylie, now Christy, now Shazza, now Shane. On Kipper, on Skipper, on Bazzer, on Wayne. Park up on that water tank, grab a quick drink. I'll scoot down the gum tree and be back in a wink. So up the tank, those 8 kangaroo flew. Excuse me. With a ute full of toys and Santa Claus too. He slid down the gum tree, jumped to the ground, and then through the window he sprang with a bound. He had bright sunburned cheeks with a milky white beard. He jolly old joker was how he appeared. He wore stubby red stubby shorts and old thongs on his feet, and a hat of deep crimson as a shade from the heat. His bright as opals, his eyes bright as opals, oh how they twinkled, and like a goanna his skin was quite wrinkled. His shirt was stretched over a round bulging belly, which he shook when he moved like a plate full of jelly. A fat stack of prezzies he flung from his back, and he looked like a swaggy unfastening his back. He spoke not a word, but bent down on one knee to position our goodies beneath the yield tree. Surfboard and footy shaped for us too, and for Dad tongs to use in the new barbecue. A mysterious package he left for his mum. Then he turned around, he winked, and he held up his thumb. He strolled out on deck, and the roos came on cue. Flung his sack in the back and prepared to shoot through. He bellowed out loud as they swooped past the gates. Merry Christmas to all. Good night, you mates. And good on you, mates. Yeah. I like that. That's fun. Shared a meme on Discord, did you? Alright, Carrie, but she slipped on some ice while singing. Oh. I can't. I have to open it on YouTube. You won't be able to hear it, but... It is not letting me open this thing. Let me look it up. I have to look the damn thing up. Gotta love that accent. I know, right? Oh, yeah, mate. No, I got it. I got it working. All right. Good God, lass. She got absolutely taken out. You can't hear it, but I've just... Don't worry, I've watched it. I should probably put it up and let everyone watch it, but... It would definitely get me done, unfortunately. Oh, good God. She took us over. Hello, Mac. How are you? Merry Christmas to you too. We're sitting here, reading the Australian version of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It was very good. Doing good? Wonderful. What are you doing for Christmas, Mac? Any plans? That's a thing? Yeah, it is. Nobody knows who made it, but I found it. It was posted on some blog in 2011. It was called The Night Before Christmas in Aussie. The Aussie Night Before Christmas. It was very good. You should go back and listen to it. But one of the lines were, "But a rusty old ute pulled by 8 mighty roos." I need to see the reacts for 2 weeks. Oh, that's nice. The family's coming to me mostly, but not every one of them. Unfortunately, a lot of them are busy. A few of them are unable to get time off during Christmas. But yes. Oh, excuse me. But I'm glad. It's good. Gonna get any presents, Mac? Or is your presence the present that everyone needs? You are a gift. Unto itself. Present is an adult suck, you know that. I like the tea set though. It's good, isn't it? This is a tea chest. I assume you're talking about the picture though. That contains 6 Christmas teas based on the Nuremberg Festival. The Nuremberg Nights, the Nuremberg Christmas markets. And the one I'm having today is just the Christmas tea. It's quite nice. But yes, well, in my family, how we get around the sort of annoyance of just boring Christmas presents is each person gets 1 present for at least 1 other family member. Each family member gets given another family member to do a present for. And we can buy more if we want, but it's so we each at least get 1 gift every year. No matter how old or young. And a lot of the time we're quite direct about asking. And sometimes it's things that are useful. So I went and asked. I had my niece's partner last year. And so I asked my niece and her partner, "Oh, what do you want me to buy him?" And he's just like, "Oh, I've got this new TV. I'd like a sound system. Like, I'd like sound. I've got a sound system, but I don't have any of the stands and like things that I want for them to make them work the way I want to." And so it is a secret Santa, but it's not secret because we're not. The present isn't secret. We tried to do this whole thing where we would have like a list of stuff that, you know, like a list of presents we'd throw out, and then somebody would choose, the people of the Secret Santa would choose one. Eventually it just evolved into us asking. And so he was like, "Yeah, I want these stands for my sound system so I can put them around the room." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I bought that for them for Christmas. And, you know, I needed a pair of slip-on formal shoes because I only have lace-up formal shoes and they're very difficult to deal with. So the niece who had me this year asked me about it, and I found a pair that were good from a good company, Julius Marlowe, and they helped me pay for it. And, you know, there's a budget to it now, family. You know, I don't think it's over $100. But, you know, if I just pay the extra $25, they pay for the whole thing, I give them the $25 extra, and, you know, I only paid $25 for a pair of nice shoes. Or even more, you know. So it is a bit like Secret Santa. That's what I try and do. Because at least then you'd get something you want. And those who work at school here. Sounds weird to have one with a family. We're just so spread out these days. The family isn't very close to each other. So we're not able to meet each other for Christmas very often. And I think one of my nieces started this. It only started recently, in the last 5 years. As the final nephew got into adulthood, I suppose. It was kind of like, presents were sent between families, but as we became more and more spread out across the country, the great southern land, it became a bit more difficult to meet and have that sort of thing and buy presents like that. So in the end, and it also kind of reduces the financial stress on one or a small group of people who like buying presents. Everyone buys a present, so no one's left out, and it's, you know, a certain amount, and kind of allows us to feel like we've given something to each other, even though keeping connection. It's just something one of my nieces wanted to do because she, I don't know actually, I'd have to ask her, but she started it 5 years ago or so, and I like it. They kind of, and it's handy because, you know, if somebody is a person who likes pragmatic, presents, they can be asked and they can be like, oh, I need this. I need this. I need that. Oh, and somebody says, like, my nephew, the present I brought for my nephew, he just said, I like board games, and I want you to buy me a board game I don't know. So I went and found a board game he didn't know. It's like one of those things. But I know they're a lot less common in families. We have a large family. Usually why they don't work nearly as in families, because families aren't normally that big. But our family is. 2 generations with 7 children in them. So the aunts and uncles are all a large group, and the nieces and nephews who are all adults now are good. And now the next generation, my great niece and great nephew, they're too young to bother me, but we have a lot of people, so we can pull it off. It's sort of, by spreading it out across the whole family, it makes it a lot more affordable for each one of us. And we all get one Christmas present, so it's pragmatic, to be honest. Don't know why I'm explaining the economics of Secret Santa, but be not I suppose. Secret Santa, I imagine Secret Santas for, like, staff rooms at schools, or Secret Santas for offices. Must be bizarre. I've never done them in the offices I've ever worked at. They just give out chocolate and food at Christmas time in most of the places I worked. When it got close to Christmas time, the office would buy a heap of nice stuff and stock the team, like the sort of office break room, I suppose, with really nice stuff. You'd be able to have chocolates and stuff like that. Actually, a lot of the offices I worked in were quite good at keeping each other in line, so not one person was drinking and eating absolutely everything. We were all able to keep each other in line, but then again, that's one of those things. And then I worked at supermarkets, of course. We got stock. They just kind of pulled out stock, and the store bought stock, essentially, for this team, and it was nice. They would hand out Cadbury's favorites when they came out recently. I think that's a recent thing, but only they used to hand out chocolates and stuff like that. Very common. That's how it was. We never did Secret Santas when I was working years ago. Oh, one of those things. I don't think it's too weird. If you have a family and you're still able to close to them, it's not a bad idea, I suppose. Oh, 'twas not a sound. Nothing stirred, not even a mouse. Nasty, your Christmas discurky. I've always wondered, let's think about food. Do you prefer Cadbury or Hershey's? Because of course I prefer Cadbury to Hershey's. Cadbury doesn't have butyric acid in it. Though I have used Hershey's before. I find Hershey's is alright in, like, dessert cocktails, shockingly enough. It doesn't feel as offensive in dessert cocktails. But it may just be that the Hershey's in Australia is changed from the Hershey's in America. I do not know. I have not actually tried this Hershey's chocolate syrup on its own that I've been using for make some cocktails. It may be Australian, I haven't looked. It may be an Australian version. But yes, I do enjoy Cadbury's. In fact, I have a box of Cadbury favourites right next to me. And I've eaten 3 of them while we've been having this stream. I do enjoy Cadbury chocolates. My favourite Christmas adjacent, I don't know why this is a Christmas thing, I don't understand, I don't know if it is a normal Christmas thing, but it's chocolate coated almonds and chocolate coated peanuts. Really nice. Really expensive though, but they're really quite nice. I actually enjoy them more than chocolates most of the time. Chocolate coated almonds and chocolate coated peanuts. If I get Hershey's chocolate in Australia, I'd have to check the international section of the supermarkets, or recently there's been this chain, I suppose, of like import stores. There's been a chain of sort of like American food stuff import stores that have popped up. And I'd probably find it there, but I don't remember. I think Hershey's might be in the international foods aisle, but I personally haven't had a Hershey bar since an American friend of mine fed me one, and I just didn't like it. And so this tasted weird. And I've had some chocolates before that were just bizarre. When I think back on them, they for some reason, I remember I had like an everything free chocolate. And for some reason, its taste wasn't strong. It was mild. But God, when I think about the flavor, it makes me ill. It was a mild but sickening flavor. It was bizarre. I do not understand why it made me feel so ill. Because it wasn't a strong flavor. Like, American chocolate has that strong butyric acid sort of tart. I don't know what it is. Tart? I don't know. But it's kind of a strong flavor that makes people not like it. And you've got strong sweetness from Cadbury. I don't know if it's tart. Is butyric tart? I can't remember how they describe it. But it's been a long time since I had it. But this chocolate had such a mild flavor, and God, it was awful. It makes me feel ill thinking about its flavor. It was bizarre. Don't know why. I had such a strong reaction to it. But yes, it is due to different regulations. It's probably due to stricter regulations. How chocolates are named, how chocolates can be made, are different in every country, because of course some countries allow more sugar, less sugar, more cocoa, less cocoa, more milk, less milk, to be allowed to classify it as chocolate. Some wouldn't classify it as chocolate if it has certain ingredients. American chocolate could still be considered real chocolate. It was the first... It's got the dubious honor of being the first mass-produced chocolate in America, isn't it? Wasn't the reason Hershey's chocolate gained its flavor was because he was trying to create a chocolate that was more shelf-stable? Not great, just palatable. Fair enough. I believe, if I remember correctly, the whole story about Hershey's is he was trying to create a chocolate that was shelf-stable, so he could mass-produce it and send it across the country. And that's how eventually came to the butyric, the process that made the butyric acid in the chocolate, which allowed it to, it would stop it from fermenting further. I don't know, but it has a very distinct flavor. I think it's because of, it's butyric acid, but it was created in a process to stop it from fermenting further, so it didn't need to be refrigerated. These days, all the chocolates are, but that was a very amazing thing back then. You could put it in a supermarket without it having to be refrigerated. And it was shelf-stable. Granted, it gave it its distinct flavor, but it also became so widespread, it became the taste of chocolate in America. The American chocolate, as I remember the story goes. Fascinating story, though. That it was an attempt to solve a problem and to reach more people rather than in some pursuit of higher culinary art. It was in pursuit of a sort of much more selfish sort of idea, and it does gain its distinct flavor. I think a lot of chocolates had to follow suit because it became so popular. Everyone had to follow suit and actually make their chocolates like Hershey's. Doesn't taste like chocolate, it's just milk with Hershey's syrup. Yes, that is the way of things, isn't it? Those syrup, that's... I suppose if it's Hershey's chocolate milk, that's supposed to be what it tastes like. Milk with Hershey's chocolate. But yes, what's more like classic Australian food stuff? Australian food stuff, not Australian food. Classic Christmas food stuff across the world. In my family, we do have chicken and turkey for Christmas. Turkey and ham, actually, for Christmas. Turkey and ham. Christmas, like a big leg, big turkey. Sometimes chicken, if we're having a big meal and we need more meat. Chicken, turkey, and ham. Bizarre, I know, but then we'll have like things like little pickled onions and fruit veggie sticks and different dips and the like. Salads, usually potato salad, pasta salad. We all laugh because they're like, pasta salad, pasta salad. Everyone laughs about it, it's a good time. Ghirardelli is a real good chocolate in America. Ooh, that is a fancy name. Sounds like good chocolate. It's got a nice exotic name. Ghirardelli chocolate, American confectionery. Wholly owned by a Swiss confectioner, Lindt. Oh, they're owned by Lindt. Of course. Lindt do make some good chocolates. Still prefer Ferrero, though. Have you tasted Russian salad? Yes, well, it's owned by Lindt. Lindt, kind of artisanal chocolate makers. Lindt chocolates aren't cheap. They had Russian salad. Russian salad of olive recipe. Probably at some point, though I don't know if they called it that. It does look like potato salad, doesn't it? Oh, fully cooked ham. Well, yes, my potatoes has ham. Carrot. Carrot is probably what mine doesn't. So, what's this? Potato, carrot, whole eggs, pickles. I think the thing that's different is the carrot and the pickles. That makes it, but otherwise it looks essentially just like potato salad. Interesting. I don't know if it's common, but a friend of mine bought Tim Tams because they were references into 2D Freedom Planet 2. Oh. Delicious Tim Tam, the Australian classic. Pavlovas are also quite common in Australia. I'm not a fan of a pavlova. They're alright. I'm just not a fan of the sort of meringue. I'm more okay with Christmas cake and the like, and brownies and the like, and fruitcake. And pudding. Puddings are good. What do you put in your potato salad? Potato salad. It's very similar to that. Let me look up. Potato salad. How much is the crappy version? Tons of mayo, of course, yes. I'm gonna look up potato salad coals. Who the hell was carrots and potato salad? Well, this is the Russian salad had carrots in it. That's what I was talking about. So yes, potatoes, bacon. We use bacon, not ham. We use eggs. Now, this is not what I remember. Coals. Give me something that I feel like more vaguely remember. Yeah. Bacon. Potatoes. Mayonnaise and mustards, I believe. Can be used things like chives and dill if you want. What do they just have on their potato salad? Let's look at their... Can't remember what it is. I can never remember what's in the potato salad, but it's mostly just bacon. I'm looking at the site. Potato. Because it's specific, sometimes they just don't have anything. But sometimes they do have potato. Potato dressing, which is all this sort of thing. Dijon mustard. Yeah, we have Dijon and Dijon mustards and mayo and the like. And I believe, yeah, we have bacon, we have spring onion, mustard, and parsley. That's right. But yeah, we use mustards as well, so it's a bit different, quite a bit different from that Russian salad. We have mustards and bacon and spring onion and parsley. I kind of forgot, but yes, that is it. We do have a lot of strange stuff. It's nice. It's good. I like the bacon stuff, though. Bacon and egg. It's my favourite one. Bacon and egg one with the Dijon and whole grain mustard and the spring onion sometimes, or chives if you're feeling special. Yes. How much chocolate is in? I can say that. Tim Tam, though. I feel like I just left a lot of stuff behind because I'm thinking about potatoes. But yes, Tim Tams, a lot of those sweet, kind of easy meals, you'd always have like a charcuterie sort of thing with your dips, your chips, your jats, and your crackers, and your cheeses, and your cabanossi, and your all that sort of thing would also be there on Christmas Day, because usually there's a whole thing, and so you have like, you know, the kind of nibblies. And recently, with the advent of my interest in cocktails, well, not recently, we've been doing it for years, but now I'm the one who deals with it. But yes, for years we've had a punch bowl, like an alcoholic punch bowl, usually, made with extremely large amounts of ginger beer and rum. You speak to, if you make it wrong, you're forbidden for any future dishes that you get talked about. Oh dear. Serious business. Yes, you people, you know, talk about your classics. I know Tim Tams ones, but like meals. What is the main course of a Christmas Day lunch or a Christmas Day dinner? What's the main course? What's everyone's main course? What's the signature food that your families all use? Because I find it fascinating. See what others do. Because yes, I do with the punch bowl. This year, the punch bowl, of course, punch bowls have to be. It's turkey. Yeah, ham and turkey is what it's over us. Turkey. I always found that I could never get turkey cooked right. It's always so dry. Half the turkeys I've had in my life are bone dry. I need more condiments than a bloody hot dog stand to be able to stand sometimes. Sometimes you have lamb. Oh, that's interesting. How common is lamb elsewhere? I know that the US doesn't do lamb that often. Do you blast it while cooking? I don't cook it. That's the problem, perhaps. I've rarely ever cooked the turkey or the ham. That's not really what I do. I usually handle other things like keeping everything organized or ignoring everything or entertaining the children. Baste it. I don't know what they do with the turkey at this family. I kind of just leave them to it. Fire that person then. Oh dear. But yes, what was I saying? How common is lamb elsewhere? I know it's very common in Australia. It's one of Australia's favourite meats. Don't you have those buttons that pop out when the turkey is done? What? No? I suppose? I'm gonna say no. But, yes. Lamb. I've heard that some Americans don't like lamb, or that in America lamb is far less common. Because... is it just not produced? This is something I was curious about. So I remember seeing someone talk, like an American talking about how they really didn't like lamb. And that to them it tasted like goat's cheese, which is a really strange thing to say about lamb. Upsetting, though. Oh, excuse me. I think I've eaten lamb before. Yeah, that's the thing. It's very common in Australia. Quite popular and common, if not a bit expensive. When I was a younger man, and even 15 years ago, when I was a few years ago, even that a few years ago, it was much cheaper. But these days, not as cheap, I don't think. Do you have a rotisserie oven or something? God. Now I just got the fire out. Go get half of a barrel and light on its side. Get the 2 sticks and start cooking rotisserie chicken. Granted, sometimes here, actually lamb can be sometimes what we use as sort of sizzling steaks or quickly cooking steaks. Sometimes I've had a few Christmases where we haven't had, turkey or ham at all, and we've just had sausages and lamb. Lamb steaks and lamb shanks. That sort of thing. And we just cook on a barbie. Everyone's outside, we cook a heap of meat, usually for a lot more people, because, it's easier to get a lot more people and actually kind of get the right amount. But when it's a smaller amount of people, we usually stick to the ham and the turkey and all that stuff. But this year, we've got a professional chef. My niece's husband is a professional chef, so hopefully we'll be lucky this year and he'll blow us away with his beautiful rendition on Christmas turkey. That would be nice. Be nice indeed. You know what's something I forgot to do? I got to put Christmas hats on the dudes in the ending screen. Damn it. Silly me. Ah, well. Yes, I think it's almost 3 hours. I think we'll start ending up soon. So we'll just continue with this conversation, but we'll start slowing down. Yes, 3 hours, eh? I could talk for a while, but it's always fascinating. Christmas. Fascinating. I wonder how it's going to be for me next year. We sit here looking at this Christmas, thinking about next year's Christmas. I do wonder, will I return to Australia for Christmas? I don't think I will. I feel like I should try and stay there to experience a proper white Christmas. I haven't experienced one in decades. Because that's what doesn't happen here. And anyway, in Australia, you barely get snow except for down in the Victorian Alps. You get frost most of the time in Australia, or spider webs that look like frost. But anyway. Shared my turkey thermometer what I was talking about on Discord. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So it's like a type of thermometer. Fascinating. Ah, handy. There you go. There you go. Excuse me. Popping by when the turkey is cooked. I just noticed Jack boy put on the Discord self-healing, meditation, relaxing, healing. I was like, do I need self-healing? Oh, but yes. Very good. Anyway, now we're close to 3 hours. I think we'll leave it there. Next time, look forward to next week's stream, where we'll be doing a year in retrospective. I think. A streaming year in retrospective. Looking back on all we've done this year. And maybe we'll be able to get it on Sunday, but it'll probably be on Thursday. It'll be just before New Year's. We can have a chat a couple of days before New Year's. We can sit down. We'll do a tier list. I'll need to remember to actually set up the tier list. I know there's some sort of program. Could somebody send me the site? Everyone does? I know tier lists are very popular in the VTuber space. But this is the most self-centered tier list to exist. My own. For me, and the games that I played. But we'll do a game tier list, and I'll also talk a bit about how I felt like when I streamed them. That'll be next year. A year in retrospective. A year older, Eric Winters. That was a good idea, so thank you, Lafahu. Very good idea. I've never used that site. Well, if anyone has used the tier list site, I don't know which one it is, could you send it to me on the Discord? And I'll have to set it up. But anyway, you've all been good for audience. Thank you for the idea, Lafahi. I am going to steal it and use it as my own. Even though literally everyone has done tier lists in the VTuber space. It's so common. People love tier lists. Don't know why. I just haven't done enough of things to tier. I should just do something weird about tier lists. Next year, I'll do entirely tier lists. I'll go to Japan and I'll make my channel into a Japan streaming channel where I'll tier list everything in convenience stores. That's what I'll do. That's how I'll grow my channel. But yes. Let's change it today. It was the night before Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm trying to think of Christmas greetings. Why can't I remember any of them all of a sudden? Oh yes. I wish you a Merry Christmas. That's merry and bright. I hope peace finds you all on Christmas Day. So, as they all say, I exclaim, Happy Christmas to all, and to all, a good night. Oop. There you go. Christmas hat. Festive.